Most people completely misunderstood Notion. It's not just a simple to-do list, it is a system designer, and it's practically an app builder at this point. So by the end of this video, we'll actually build a task list system that will have you rethinking the way that Notion works, as it won't just be that simple document that most people use it as, because there's never been a better opportunity to build custom workflows and custom setups. But to do that, you do have to start understanding Notion, and especially some of its more complicated features. And that's exactly what we'll go through today. Today we'll dive into databases and their three powerful features, being filters, groups, and sorting. And we'll look at some of the powerful properties that Notion databases have. By the way, one of these ideas that I'm showing today isn't even available in my premium Notion template. So let's stop using Notion as a basic document, and let's rethink how you use this app. Subscribe for Notion tutorials. Let's dive in. This here is pretty much just a plain document. Instead, we want to start using databases. So we'll start really simple with a table view here. Now you can actually type in previous databases that you've created here and use them again, which I'll get to later on. But for now, let's just click on New Empty Data Source. So this here will be my tasks. If you're new to databases in Notion, these rows here are pages. So I can click this up and open this up and take notes and whatever I want to do in this page. And properties in Notion are the columns. So all of these here are different columns. So I could have a text column, which isn't one of the most useful ones, but it's still cool. The really useful ones are stuff like number, select, the date property, and other more complicated stuff, which we'll get to in this video. But see, to get the full use out of Notion, you're going to use filters, sorting, and groups. So let's build an incredibly simple task system. We'll have the name of the task, the checkbox, and then let's have a date so we know when we're going to do it. So let's go through filters, sorting, and groups just with these here. So let's start here by looking at the groups. What I'll do here is simply group these by if the task is being completed or not. And this now works automatically. So let's add task 1 here, and we'll add task 2 here. If I complete this, as you can see, these two now get separated. So we have the completed tasks here and uncompleted here. And if I tick this in, it automatically jumps here. If I untick it, it automatically jumps down here. So that is how groups work. You get these different toggles here. And you can group by anything, by the way. You don't just have to group by a checkbox. You can actually group by most of these properties. So this date property here is when you're going to do it. So I'll add some random tasks in here. So we have the 18th, 21st, and the 20th. So these here aren't being ordered for me. So what I can do here is drag these about like this, but obviously I don't want to have to do that manually. And that's where sorting comes in. So I can click here on sort, and I'm going to sort this by the date. So I can either sort this by ascending or descending. Now ascending probably makes most sense because then we have the soonest date coming up first. So I can see here 18th, then 20th, then 21st. And again, we can sort by a bunch of these different properties. It doesn't just have to be the date. In headquarters, which is my premium Notion template, I have it sorting by the urgency and importance to automatically rank which tasks I should do first based on their priority. So you can get really creative here to build custom workflows. Now the last thing here is filter. Now if you don't know, this database here can be viewed in any one of these different views. This same list here of tasks can be viewed in one of these views. So I could view it as a calendar. And now you can see task 1, 3, and 2 sitting in here. Or I could view this here as another table. And the cool thing is, if I view this as another table, this table here keeps the settings of the sorting and the group. But this table here doesn't. As you can see, sort here isn't blue, where it is blue here. So this one here doesn't have any sorting or groups applied to it. So the filters and sorting and groups that we add are applicable to the tab. And that's where you can get really creative. So one of the most common mistakes that I see with Notion pages is people have, their task list, task 1, task 2, task 3. And then down here, they have their journal entries, typically as, a page or something like that. So I would turn this into a page. And then here is where they click and journal. But you see, journaling is just a type of task. It's really not any different. What most people do is separate all their different tasks into a bunch of different separate places. Okay, so to journal, I have to go to my journaling page. To track that I went for a run, I have to go to my running page, and so forth. So what we're going to do here is add our journaling straight into our task list by using filters. So let's click here on new page, and I'll write journal. This here will be my journal entry, and I'll do it today. As you can see, it jumped up automatically to the top because of this sort. And here I can write my emotions, blah, blah, blah. When I've completed it, as you can see, it jumps up here to the top because we are grouping by whether it's complete or not. But now I want to be able to find all of my journal entries on this tab here. So what we can do is filter by the name. So I'll filter by the name here and just write journal. So now anytime the name has the word journal in it, it will show up here automatically. So let's just say I journaled yesterday. I write journal here. If I now click here, you can now see that journal showing up here as well. So that's an example of filters. And in this tab here, we've got the sort and we've got the group. So that's our first custom workflow that we built in Notion. One of the best things that I've done for my productivity is to track my time. This completely changed my life. I've done it for well over a year now, maybe 2 years. And like we looked at in the last point, we are going to add a new view here. And this view will be my time tracker. And on this time tracker, I only want to see the tasks that are completed, because obviously I haven't tracked the time for stuff that I haven't done yet. So we're going to use this filter function, and we'll filter by the completed where it is checked in. So now I'm only seeing the tasks here that are checked in. So here I could say 15 minutes, and then this hypothetical task 2, 60 minutes. And just so we have more to play with, I'll go 60, 60, 120. And then I'll tick in all of these tasks as well. So now in this time tracker here, I have all of these numbers. And what we can do is right click and do calculate. And this here is quite fun to have a play with. So you can do count, which is pretty basic. This here is just counting all of these page entries. So I can see I've done 6 different tasks. That's kind of useful, but with more options, you can do sum, average, median, min, max, and range. And here you get to find out a lot about your actual productivity. So now I can see I've done 330 minutes of work. But the problem is I have the journal in here and these different tasks here, I don't know what they're to do with. So what I want to do is separate these into work and personal. So we're going to add a property and we are going to create a select property. And this here will simply be the type. This here, journal, is personal. That one's also personal. And then all of these here are to do with work. And now I'll show you how awesome this calculate feature is. What we can do is now group, like we looked at before, and we'll group by the type. And now what it's doing is splitting this calculation up into these 2 different toggles. So I can see 30 minutes in total here under personal, and 300 minutes here under work. And in headquarters, which is my premium Notion template, I can go to the time tracking page and see it broken down by the buckets and by the projects. So in here, these here are all your different life buckets. We have fitness, business, relationship, family and friends, etc. So my time tracking here will be broken down into how much time have I spent studying, or how much time have I spent working on my business or working at my job. I can also see it broken down by the different projects. And I could only build that custom workflow by using this calculate feature. And this leads me onto my next custom workflow. Now this is an idea that I don't even have built into headquarters. So if you're a headquarters user, you might want to add this. The idea is to add this here, EST, an estimated amount of time that you think the task will take to do. This can be really useful if you struggle with planning out your week. What we'll do here is when we add a new task, task 5, is simply guess how long we think it will take to complete. So I'll say, I think this will take 60 minutes. And then let's add another one, task 6, I think this will take 30 minutes. And then let's say I actually do the task today. And when I'm tracking, I realized, hey, this one took me 60 minutes. But this one here actually also took me 60 minutes, and I label them as complete. So now I'll go back to the time tracker and I'll add this formula. Now formulas in Notion can get very complicated, but we're going to build a very simple one today. So I'll just call this formula calc for calculation. Now this might be kind of confusing, but trust me, this makes sense and I'll walk through it. First, you're going to write if empty. So basically what I want to say is if this estimated property is empty, so you haven't guessed an estimation, then I don't want it to do this calculation. So if empty, and then here you can see empty to click on. So now we have to select the est. So if the est is empty, then I want it to write nothing. So to do that, I'll just leave this bit blank here in between the quotation marks. If not, so that's after the comma, what I want it to do is to do the actual time tracker, so the track property, and I want that to minus the estimated property. And then close bracket. So I'll put this in the description if you want to copy and paste it. That's probably easier, but hopefully that made sense. So if this estimated, so this column here, if that's empty, then don't write anything. But if it does have something in it, then do track, so the time tracker minus the estimation. And that is what this formula here says. So now when I click away, as you can see, most of these are empty, but this one here, because the estimated had a number in it, it says 0 here, so 60 minus 60 is 0. And then this here says 30, so I can see 60 minus 30. This is going to help me in planning out my week because I know, okay, whatever this was, let's say this was write report. Okay, next time I'm writing a report, maybe I know to allow myself 60 minutes instead of my estimated 30. So you can start picking up on these patterns here when you really track your time and also start guessing how much time will this take. And that is the last workflow idea to fix your Notion task list. If you found Headquarters interesting and want to see a full tour, then click on this video here, as it handles not only your tasks, but your projects, your life buckets, your journaling, your habits, your time tracking, and so much more. Click here for a full tour. Thanks for watching.